Captain Lee Daeho stared at the massive alien ship floating above Earth. It was 3 times larger than anything humans had ever built. The silver surface gleamed in the sunlight, and strange symbols glowed along its sides. His hands gripped the control panel of the Earth Defense Station as he watched the enormous vessel just sit there, waiting. "Sir, they're sending another message," said Lieutenant Park Min-jun from the communication desk. His voice was steady, but Daeho could hear the nervousness underneath. "Put it through," Daeho replied. A deep, musical voice filled the command center. The alien spoke perfect English, though it sounded like someone singing rather than talking. "Greetings, primitive inhabitants of the third planet. We are the Nixari Empire, representatives of the Great Galactic Council. We come in peace to welcome you into our protection." Daeho frowned. Something about the way the alien said protection didn't sound right. He pressed the communication button. "This is Captain Lee Daeho of the Earth Defense Force. We appreciate your visit. What kind of protection are you offering?" There was a pause. Then the alien voice came back, sounding surprised. "You maintain military forces during first contact? How unusual. Do not worry, small human. Once you join the Council, you will not need such things. We will protect you from all dangers." "What if we don't want to join?" Daeho asked. Another longer pause. "All species join the Council, human. It is for your own good. Your technology is primitive, your understanding limited. Under our guidance, you will grow and prosper." Daeho looked around the command center. His crew was listening to every word. These aliens talked like humans were children who needed babysitting. He had fought in 3 wars to keep Earth free. He wasn't about to hand it over to strangers, no matter how advanced they were. "We'll need to discuss this with our government," he said. "Can you wait while we talk it over?" "Of course," the alien replied. "We are patient. However, do not take too long. The Council has many worlds to visit." The communication ended. Daeho immediately contacted Admiral Park Hyejin at Earth Command. Her face appeared on the main screen, looking serious as always. "Admiral, did you hear all that?" Daeho asked. "Every word," she replied. "They sound like they expect us to just say yes and hand over our planet. Get me everything you can about that ship. I'm calling an emergency meeting with all military commanders." "Yes, ma'am. What about the government?" "President Cho Min-ho is already on his way to the command center. We're treating this as a potential threat until we know more." 3 hours later, the alien delegation arrived at the United Nations building in New York. They came in a smaller ship that landed right on the plaza, ignoring all the security barriers. The aliens were tall and thin, with pale blue skin and large eyes that seemed to glow. They wore flowing robes that changed colors as they moved. Ambassador Velthar led the group. He walked into the assembly hall like he owned the place, not even glancing at the security guards. President Cho Min-ho was waiting with representatives from every major nation. "Welcome to Earth," President Cho said, extending his hand. Velthar looked at the offered hand for a moment, then gently touched it with 2 fingers. "Greetings, leader of this world. I am Ambassador Velthar. We are here to begin your integration into the Galactic Council." "Integration?" asked President Cho. "We understood this was just a meeting to discuss possibilities." Velthar tilted his head, looking confused. "There are no possibilities to discuss. All newly discovered species join the Council. It has been this way for 10,000 years. You will be given technology, protection, and guidance. In return, you will follow Council laws and accept Council authority." Commander Kim Tae-woo, head of Presidential Security, stepped forward. "And if we refuse?" The alien looked shocked. "Refuse? Why would you refuse? The Council offers you safety and advancement. Without our protection, you would surely destroy yourselves or be destroyed by others. We've been doing fine on our own for thousands of years," President Cho said calmly. "But you are so primitive," Velthar replied, sounding like he was talking to a child. "You still fight wars among yourselves. You damage your planet. You have barely left your solar system. Under Council guidance, these problems will end." "Because you'll solve them for us?" asked Kim Tae-woo. "Yes, exactly. The Council knows what is best. We have done this for countless species. They are all grateful for our guidance. President Cho exchanged glances with his advisors. We appreciate the offer, Ambassador, but we prefer to make our own decisions about our future. Belthar's glowing eyes grew brighter. You do not understand. This is not a choice. This is how things are done. No species has ever refused Council protection. Well, we're the first then, President Cho said with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. The alien delegation whispered among themselves in their musical language. Finally, Belthar spoke again. Perhaps you need time to consider the benefits. We will return to our ship and give you one rotation of your planet to reconsider. Take all the time you need, President Cho replied. Our answer won't change. After the aliens left, the president immediately contacted Admiral Park Hye-jin. Admiral, I want every military base on high alert. These visitors aren't as friendly as they pretend to be. Already done, sir, she replied. I've also contacted our allies. Everyone's preparing for the possibility that these talks might not end peacefully. Back on their ship, Belthar was speaking with his superior Supreme Commander Thexvalar through a communication crystal. The humans are refusing integration, Belthar reported. They actually told us no. Impossible, Thexvalar replied. No species refuses Council protection. Perhaps they misunderstood? I explained everything clearly. They said they prefer to make their own decisions. They even maintained their military forces during our meeting. They showed no fear at all. How strange. Continue diplomatic efforts. If they persist in this foolishness, we may need to demonstrate the consequences of refusing Council protection. Yes, Commander. But I must report something else. These humans are different from other species we have encountered. They do not seem grateful for our offer of guidance. They seem to think they are our equals. Ridiculous. Begin standard enforcement protocols if diplomacy fails. These primitives will learn to appreciate Council protection, willing or not. The next morning, Captain Lee Dae-ho received new orders from Admiral Park. He was to double the patrols around Earth and prepare all defense systems. As he looked at the alien ship still floating above his planet, he wondered what these visitors would do when they realized humans meant what they said. The galaxy was about to learn something new about humanity. Humans didn't just survive by being smart or strong. They survived by refusing to give up their freedom no matter who wanted to take it away. The aliens thought they were dealing with another primitive species that would gratefully accept protection. They had no idea they were about to meet the most stubborn species in the galaxy. 3 months had passed since the first meeting with the Nexari. The single alien ship above Earth was now part of a massive fleet. Hundreds of vessels filled the space around Earth's moon, their silver hulls gleaming like deadly stars. Fleet. Admiral Kexmoran stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Divine Order. He had dealt with stubborn species before, but never one that lasted this long. Usually, a show of force was enough to make any world surrender. Open communications with the human government, he ordered. On Earth, President Cho Min-ho received the call in the underground command center that had become his temporary office. The alien's face appeared on the screen, much more serious than Ambassador Belthar had been. I am Fleet Admiral Kexmoran of the Galactic Council Enforcement Division, the alien said. His voice was cold and hard. You have had sufficient time to consider Council membership. What is your decision? The same as before, President Cho replied. We respectfully decline. We're happy to discuss trade agreements or mutual defense treaties, but we won't accept Council authority over our planet. Kexmoran's eyes flashed with anger. You still do not understand your situation. Look at your sky, human. Count our ships. Your entire military could not destroy even one of our vessels. Maybe not, admitted President Cho. But that doesn't change our answer. Then you force me to demonstrate why Council protection is necessary. Kexmoran gestured to someone off-screen. We will show you what happens to worlds that refuse our guidance. The communication ended. Within minutes, alarms were sounding across Earth as the alien fleet moved toward a large asteroid between Earth and Mars. Colonel O.J. Sung watched from the Earth Defense Station as 3 alien ships surrounded the space rock. All stations, this is command. Record everything. I want to know exactly how their weapons work. The aliens fired beams of blue light at the asteroid. The rock simply vanished, leaving nothing but glowing dust that quickly faded away. Impressive, said Major Shin Young-sik, standing beside Colonel O. But not as impressive as they think. What do you mean? Asked Colonel O. Dr. Yu So-young's team has been studying their energy patterns for 3 months. Those weapons are designed to break things apart cleanly, not to destroy them. Perfect for making a stubborn population surrender without too much damage. And that helps us how? Major Shin smiled. Because we've been building weapons designed to destroy things, completely. An hour later, President Cho received another call from Fleet Admiral Kex Moran. Did you observe our demonstration? The alien asked. We did, President Cho replied. Then you understand. Surrender now, and your world will be spared. Refuse, and we will be forced to take stronger action. President Cho looked at Admiral Park, Hyojin, who nodded. Admiral Kex Moran, we have a demonstration of our own. Major Shin, please proceed. On the far side of Mars, Major Shin Young-sik's team had positioned 3 kinetic bombardment satellites around an asteroid twice the size of the one the aliens had destroyed. These weren't energy weapons. They were simple tungsten rods accelerated to incredible speeds. Firing, Major Shin announced. The tungsten rods hit the asteroid at nearly the speed of light. The space rock didn't just vanish like the alien target. It exploded in a brilliant flash that could be seen from Earth. When the light faded, there was nothing left but an expanding cloud of vapor. Fleet Admiral Kex Moran stared at his sensor readings in shock. How did they do that? Their technology is primitive. Perhaps, Admiral, said Captain Lim Hee-jin over the communication channel. You should reconsider your approach. We're not the helpless primitives you expected. Back on the alien flagship, Kex Moran was receiving reports from his science officers. Admiral, their weapon was purely kinetic. No energy shields, no advanced materials, just mass and velocity. Impossible. No species develops kinetic weapons to that level. Energy weapons are more efficient. Not for destruction, sir. Energy weapons are designed for precision and control. Kinetic weapons are designed for complete annihilation. Kex Moran felt a chill run through him. In 10,000 years of Council expansion, no species had ever responded to a show of force with a bigger show of force. Sir, another officer reported, we're detecting massive energy signatures from the human planet. They're powering up defensive systems across their entire world. What kind of defenses? Unknown, sir. But the energy output is enormous. Whatever they're preparing, it's not for surrender. On Earth, Dr. Yu So-young was working frantically in her laboratory. For months, she had been studying captured alien technology from their landing shuttles. What she discovered changed everything. Admiral Park, she said over the communication system, I figured out how their shields work. They're designed to stop energy weapons and small projectiles, but they have a fundamental weakness. What kind of weakness? Admiral Park asked. They can't stop large kinetic impacts. Their shields are like trying to stop a cannonball with a fishing net. The energy spreads out, but the mass keeps going. How large of an impact are we talking about? Anything moving fast enough with enough mass. Our railguns, kinetic bombardment systems, even our old-fashioned missiles if we can get them moving fast enough. Admiral Park smiled grimly. Doctor, you may have just saved our planet. Meanwhile, Colonel O.J. Sung was coordinating with intelligence services around the world. His team had been intercepting alien communications and learning their language. The aliens are confused, he reported to President Cho. They keep asking each other why we're not surrendering. Apparently every other species gave up after the first demonstration of alien power. What makes us different? President Cho asked. According to their communications, most species they encounter are either peaceful or divided. They've never met a species that was both unified and prepared for war. Are we prepared for war? Colonel O nodded. More than they realize. While they've been talking, we've been building. Every major nation has contributed weapons, technology, and personnel to Earth defense. We have kinetic weapons, nuclear missiles, railguns, and some experimental technology that even I don't fully understand. President Cho looked out at the alien fleet through the command center's screens. Do you think we can actually win against them? I don't know if we can win, sir, but I know we can make them regret trying to force us into submission. Fleet Admiral Kexmoran made his final attempt at peaceful resolution. Humans, this is your last chance. Accept Council protection, or face the consequences. President Cho's reply was broadcast to every ship in the alien fleet. Admiral Kexmoran, we've given you our answer multiple times. We will not submit to your authority. If you choose to attack us, we will defend ourselves with everything we have. But understand this. We are not the peaceful primitives you're used to conquering. We are humans, and humans fight. Kexmoran closed the communication and turned to his fleet commanders. Begin enforcement operations. Target their military installations first. Minimal casualties. We want to demonstrate our superiority, not exterminate them. But as the alien fleet began to move toward Earth, Kexmoran couldn't shake the feeling that he was making a terrible mistake. These humans had shown no fear, no willingness to compromise, and no respect for superior technology. For the first time in his long career, Fleet Admiral Kexmoran was about to learn what happened when an unstoppable force met an immovable object. The war for Earth was about to begin, and the galaxy was about to discover that humans had a very different idea about how wars should be fought. The attack on the Kepler mining colony came without warning. Director Bang Hyun-wook was reviewing production reports when the first alien ships appeared above Kepler 442b. The mining facility was supposed to be a safe target for the Council forces, far from Earth's main defenses with only a small security team. Sir, we have multiple alien vessels approaching, Security Chief Kwon Min-jung reported over the communication system. 3 cruisers and several smaller ships. Bang looked out the observation window at the red planet's surface where hundreds of miners were working. How long until they're in weapons range? 10 minutes, maybe less. Sound the alarm. Get everyone to the emergency shelters. Contact Earth Command and tell them we're under attack. Sir, we only have 12 security officers and some basic defense. Turrets, we can't fight a fleet. Bang smiled grimly. Maybe not with traditional weapons, but this is a mining operation. We have lots of things that explode. As the alien ships descended toward the mining facility, they expected to see panicking humans running for shelter. Instead, they saw something that confused them. The large mining excavators were moving into position around the facility, their massive drilling arms pointed skyward. This is Fleet Commander Zexathon of the Council Enforcement Division, came the alien broadcast. Surrender immediately and you will not be harmed. This facility will be occupied for your own protection. Kwon Min-jung's voice crackled back over the radio. This is Security Chief Kwon of the Kepler mining colony. You are not welcome here. Leave our system immediately. You cannot resist us with mining equipment, humans. Surrender now. You want to bet? The first alien ship to enter the atmosphere got a surprise. What looked like a simple mining excavator suddenly fired its drilling laser at full power. The beam, designed to cut through solid rock, sliced through the alien ship's shields and hull like they were made of paper. Impossible, Zexthon shouted as his ship's alarm screamed. How are they penetrating our shields? His science officer checked the readings. Sir, they're using industrial cutting lasers at maximum power. Our shields are designed to stop weapons, not industrial equipment operating beyond safety limits. The mining facility had turned into a fortress. Foreman Jang Sok-jin had repositioned the ore processing equipment to launch chunks of metal ore at incredible speeds. The magnetic accelerators used to move heavy materials became improvised railguns. Incoming fighters, Kwon reported. 3 of them, coming in low. I've got them, Jang replied. He activated the ore sorting system, designed to separate valuable metals from worthless rock. The system fired a stream of dense metal fragments that tore through the alien fighters like they were flying through a meteor shower. The aliens had never faced anything like this. They were used to fighting other military forces with predictable weapons and tactics. They had no idea how to handle opponents who turned every piece of equipment into a weapon. Zexthon tried to land ground troops, But the miners had other ideas. The explosive charges used for mining became improvised bombs. The heavy machinery became mobile barriers. Even the simple hand tools became weapons in the hands of people fighting for their home. "Sir," reported the alien tactical officer, "we're taking heavy casualties. These humans are fighting with equipment we've never seen used in combat." "It's mining equipment," Zexthon snapped. "How dangerous can it be?" His answer came when one of his landing shuttles was crushed by a massive mining robot that Zhang had reprogrammed to hunt alien vehicles. Back on Earth, General Nam Yanju received the distress signal from Kepler. "Admiral Park, we need to send reinforcements to the mining colony." "Already on it," Admiral Park replied. "Task Force 3 is jumping to hyperspace now, but it'll take them 6 hours to reach Kepler." "The miners won't last 6 hours against a fleet. Don't be so sure. These reports are saying they've already destroyed 5 alien ships and damaged 3 more. With mining equipment? Never underestimate human creativity when we're fighting for our lives." At the Kepler colony, engineer Song Ji-hoon was working frantically in the communication center. "Chief Kwan, I've managed to hack into one of their damaged shuttles. I'm downloading their technical data now." "What are you finding?" "Their weapons are incredibly advanced, but they're also incredibly specialized. They're designed to disable and capture, not to destroy. Perfect for conquering other species, but not so good against people who fight back." "Can you use any of it?" "Maybe. Their power systems are compatible with our equipment. If I can reverse engineer their shield generators, we might be able to protect our heavy machinery." Song managed to install crude alien shield generators on 3 of the mining excavators. When the aliens tried to destroy them with focused fire, the shields held long enough for the excavators to return fire with their industrial lasers. The tide of battle turned when General Nam's reinforcements arrived. Task Force 3 consisted of 12 Earth defense ships led by Captain Han Dong-wook. They had been designed specifically to fight aliens, using everything humans had learned about Council technology. "This is Captain Han to Kepler Colony. We're here to help." "About time," Kwan replied. "We've been having fun, but we're running out of ammunition." "Copy that. Stand by for orbital bombardment." The Earth ships didn't use energy weapons like the aliens. They used kinetic projectiles, nuclear, missiles, and plasma cannons that the aliens had never encountered before. The Council ships, designed to fight other energy-based weapons, had no defense against the brutal efficiency of human military technology. "Retreat! Retreat!" Zexthon ordered as his flagship's hull was breached by a tungsten projectile moving at impossible speed. "These humans fight like savages," but the humans weren't done. Captain Han had studied alien tactics and knew they would try to escape to hyperspace. He had positioned his ships to cut off their escape routes. "This is Captain Han to the alien fleet. Surrender now and you will be treated according to the laws of war." "We do not surrender to primitives," Zexthon replied. "Then you'll discover why we're not as primitive as you think." The space battle that followed lasted only 20 minutes. The alien ships, designed for fighting civilized opponents who followed predictable rules, were no match for humans who treated war as a problem, to be solved rather than a game to be played. When it was over, 8 alien ships had been destroyed and 4 captured. Only 2 managed to escape to tell the Council what had happened. Down on the mining colony, Director Bang surveyed the damage. 3 buildings had been destroyed, and 7 miners were injured. But they had won. "Sir," Kwan reported, "we're receiving a communication from Earth Command. Admiral Park wants to know how a mining colony managed to defeat a Council fleet." Bang laughed. "Tell her we had the right tools for the job." Song approached with a tablet full of alien technical data. "Sir, I've learned something important from their computer systems. This wasn't supposed to be a real battle. They expected us to surrender as soon as they showed up." "What do you mean?" "According to their files, no species has ever fought back during a pacification operation. They were so confident we would surrender that they didn't even bring their best weapons. And now? Now they know we're not like other species. And according to their communications, they're very worried about what that means." The news of the Kepler victory spread quickly through human space and beyond. For the first time in galactic history, a newly contacted species had not only fought back against the Council but had actually won. On the Council homeworld, Supreme Commander Thexivalar received Zexthan's report with growing alarm. "They used mining equipment as weapons?" he asked. "Yes, sir. They turned their entire facility into a fortress, and their military reinforcements fought with weapons we've never encountered before." "What kind of weapons?" "Kinetic projectiles, chemical explosives, and energy systems that bypass our shields completely. They don't fight like any civilized species we've ever encountered." Thexivalar studied the tactical reports. "These humans are becoming a serious problem. They're not just refusing to join the Council. They're actively fighting us. And winning." "What are your orders, sir?" "Prepare the full fleet. If these humans want a war, we'll give them one they can't win." But deep down, Thexivalar was beginning to worry. The humans had already proven they were unpredictable. What if they had more surprises waiting? The Council's pride was wounded. News of the defeat at Kepler had spread throughout their empire, and for the first time in 10,000 years, member species were asking uncomfortable questions about Council supremacy. Supreme Commander Thexivalar decided to end the human problem once and for all. The Vanguard fleet was the Council's most elite force. 200 ships, equipped with the most advanced weapons in the galaxy, commanded by the best officers the Council had ever produced. They had never been defeated in battle. They had never even been seriously challenged. Admiral Bei Junho stood on the bridge of the Earth battleship Defiance, watching the massive alien fleet assemble at the edge of the Tau Ceti system. His own force looked tiny by comparison. 37 ships, most of them built in the last 6 months using captured alien technology combined with human innovation. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission from the alien fleet," reported Lieutenant Commander Ryu Yunha. "Put it through." The face that appeared on the screen belonged to Fleet Admiral Velcater, the Council's most decorated military commander. His expression was cold and arrogant. "Human Admiral, I am Fleet Admiral Velcater of the Council Vanguard Fleet. You are facing the finest military force in the galaxy. Surrender now, and your deaths will be quick." Admiral Bei smiled. "Admiral Velcator, I'm Admiral Bei Junho of the Earth Defense Force. We're not surrendering. We're not retreating. We're here to fight. With 30 ships against 200, you are either very brave or very stupid. Maybe both. But we're still not backing down." Velcater's eyes flashed with anger. "So be it. You will learn why the Council rules the galaxy." The alien fleet moved into attack formation, their massive ships advancing in perfect order. It was an impressive sight. 200 vessels moving with precision that spoke of thousands of years of military tradition. Admiral Bei watched them come and smiled. "All ships, this is Admiral Bei. Remember what we learned from the Kepler battle. These aliens fight like they're on parade. We fight like we're in a street fight. Break formation and begin guerrilla protocol." The human fleet scattered. Instead of meeting the aliens in traditional battle formation, the Earth ships spread out across the system, using asteroids, gas clouds, and space debris as cover. "What are they doing?" Velcator demanded as the human ships seemed to disappear from his sensors. "Unknown, sir. They've broken standard battle formation. Our tactical computers can't predict their movements." "It doesn't matter. Find them and destroy them." But finding the human ships proved difficult. Captain Han Dong-wook's destroyer squadron had hidden behind a cluster of asteroids, using the rock and metal to mask their energy signatures. When the first alien cruiser passed by, they struck from 3 directions at once. The aliens had never fought an enemy that refused to face them directly. Their weapons were designed for long-range duels between battle lines. They had no experience with ambush tactics, hit-and-run attacks, or enemies that appeared from unexpected directions. Lieutenant Commander Ryu led her squadron of stealth frigates in a series of lightning attacks. They would appear from behind, cover, fire their weapons, and disappear before the aliens could respond. Her ships were smaller and faster than anything in the alien fleet, and she used that advantage ruthlessly. "Sir, we've lost 5 ships in the last 10 minutes," the alien tactical officer reported to Velcator. The humans keep attacking from different directions. We can't pin them down. They're cowards, Velkator snapped. They won't face us in honorable combat. Chief Tactical Officer Moon Subin was coordinating the battle from his command ship. All units focus fire on their command vessels, target their bridge sections and communication arrays. The human strategy was simple but effective. Instead of trying to destroy the massive alien ships completely, they focused on specific targets: engines, weapons, and command centers. A ship with no engines couldn't chase them. A ship with no weapons couldn't fight back. A ship with no communications couldn't coordinate with the fleet. Dr. An Kyung-mi's breakthrough in alien shield technology proved crucial. Her team had discovered that alien shields operated on specific frequency patterns. By matching those frequencies, human weapons could pass right through the shields as if they weren't there. Target acquired, reported Captain Kim Na-young from her assault cruiser. Alien battleship dead ahead, shields are down. Fire all weapons, Admiral Bay ordered. The alien battleship, designed to withstand energy weapons and conventional projectiles, had no defense against the tungsten rods fired from human railguns. The projectiles punched through the hull like bullets through paper, causing massive internal damage. Velkator watched in horror as his flagship sister ship exploded. How are they penetrating our shields? Unknown, sir. Their weapons seem to pass right through our defensive systems. Impossible. Our shields have protected us for millennia. But the impossible was happening all around him. Human ships that should have been destroyed by single hits from alien weapons were taking multiple impacts and continuing to fight. Alien ships that should have been invulnerable were being destroyed by primitive kinetic weapons. The aliens had another problem. Human ships didn't follow the rules. When Captain Lee Sung-ho's cruiser lost its main weapons, he rammed it into Wo, an alien destroyer at full speed. When Lieutenant Park Young-jin's fighter was too damaged to escape, she flew it directly into the alien flagship's bridge. These humans fight without honor, Velkator complained to his officers. They sacrifice their lives for no strategic gain. But there was strategic gain. Every human ship that made a final attack took out alien vessels or damaged them beyond repair. The aliens, who valued their ships and lives, couldn't understand opponents who would throw both away to achieve victory. The turning point came when Admiral Bay launched his reserve force. 20 ships that had been hidden in the asteroid belt suddenly appeared behind the alien fleet. These weren't ordinary warships. They were converted cargo vessels, mining ships, and even passenger liners that had been armed with whatever weapons Earth could build. Sir, we have new contacts, the alien sensor officer reported. 20 more human ships, approaching from our rear. How is that possible? Our scouts detected only 37 ships. Unknown, sir. But these new ships are firing on our rear guard. The alien fleet found itself caught between two forces. Admiral Bay's main fleet continued their hit and run, attacks from the front while the reserve force struck from behind. The aliens, trained for formal battle between organized fleets, had no experience with enemies who attacked from multiple directions using unconventional tactics. Sir, we're losing ships faster than we can replace them, the tactical officer reported. The humans are using weapons we can't defend against and tactics we can't counter. Velkator realized with growing horror that his elite fleet was being destroyed by opponents who should have been helpless against Council technology. All ships retreat to hyperspace, but the humans had prepared for that too. Captain Won Jae-hyun's squadron had positioned itself near the hyperspace jump points, using gravity mines and sensor jammers to block the alien escape routes. Sir, we can't jump to hyperspace. The humans have blocked our escape vectors. Then, we'll break through them. But breaking through required the aliens to gather their scattered fleet and attack in formation. As soon as they tried to regroup, the human ship struck again, picking off isolated vessels and preventing the aliens from organizing their retreat. The battle lasted 8 hours. When it was over, the mighty Vanguard fleet had been reduced to 70 ships, many of them severely damaged. They finally managed to escape to hyperspace, leaving behind wreckage and their reputation for invincibility. Admiral Bay surveyed his own losses: 15 ships destroyed, 8 severely damaged. But they had won against impossible odds. Sir, we're receiving transmissions from across the galaxy, Lieutenant Commander Ryu reported. Word of our victory is spreading. Other species are asking how we defeated the Vanguard fleet. What are we telling them? The truth, sir. That we didn't fight fair, we didn't fight with honor, and we didn't fight by their rules. We fought to win. On the Council homeworld, Supreme Commander Thexvaler received the battle reports with growing disbelief. The Vanguard fleet was defeated? By 37 ships? Yes, sir. Fleet Admiral Velkator is reporting massive casualties. The humans used tactics we've never encountered before. What kind of tactics? Guerrilla warfare, sir. They refused to engage in traditional battle. They attacked from hiding, used unconventional weapons, and employed suicide attacks against our forces. Thexvalar felt a chill of fear. These humans are not like any species we've ever encountered. They don't fight like civilized beings. What are your orders, sir? Prepare for full mobilization. If we're going to defeat these humans, we'll need to change everything about how we fight wars. But even as he gave the order, Thexvalar wondered if the Council could adapt fast enough to counter an enemy that seemed to have no rules and no limits. The galaxy was about to learn that humans had just begun to fight. News of the human victory at Tau City spread across the galaxy faster than Council forces could suppress it. For the first time in 10,000 years, species under Council protection were questioning whether the Council was truly invincible. On the water world of Hydros Prime, Ambassador Lee Sung-min met with the Hydros leadership in their underwater city. The aquatic beings had lived under Council rule for 3,000 years, providing mineral resources and accepting protection in return. You defeated the Vanguard fleet? Asked Elder Kefthar, his gills fluttering with excitement. The stories say they had 200 ships. We did, Lee replied through his underwater breathing apparatus. But we didn't do it alone. We're hoping you'll join us in creating a new kind of galactic alliance. The Council has told us that resistance is impossible. They say their technology makes them unstoppable. The Council has been lying to you for 3,000 years. We prove that superior technology doesn't guarantee victory. Will and determination matter more than advanced weapons. Elder Kefthar exchanged glances with the other Hydros leaders. What are you offering us? Freedom to make your own choices. No more tribute payments to the Council. No more forced relocations when they need your resources. True partnership, instead of servitude. On the crystal world of Vectar, the crystalline beings were having similar conversations. The Vectari had been under Council rule for even longer than the Hydros. Their beautiful crystal formations harvested to power Council. Technology. The humans want us to rebel against the Council? Asked Prime Crystal Zavor. This is madness. The Council will destroy us. The Council will destroy you anyway, replied Colonel Park Sang-ho. They've been mining your crystal formations for 5,000 years. How much of your world is left? Javor's crystalline body dimmed with sadness. Less than half of our original landmass remains. Then you have nothing left to lose by fighting back. We can teach you tactics that the Council has never faced. We can show you how to turn your natural abilities into weapons they can't defend against. What natural abilities? We are peaceful beings. You can generate and manipulate energy through your crystal bodies. You can communicate instantly across vast distances. You can survive in environments that would kill other species. The Council has convinced you these are weaknesses, but they're actually incredible advantages. Meanwhile, Captain Kim Na-young was leading a special operations mission to rescue prisoners from a Council detention facility on Epsilon Station. The facility held representatives from dozens of species who had tried to resist Council authority over the centuries. This is insane, whispered Lieutenant Jang Minho as they approached the heavily guarded station. There are 100 Council ships protecting this place. That's why they won't expect an attack, Kim replied. They think no one is stupid enough to try it. The human Special Forces team used tactics that the Council had never encountered. Instead of attacking the station directly, they infiltrated it by hiding inside supply shipments. Once inside, they used the station's own security systems against the guards. How are they inside the facility? Demanded Station Commander Kexnal as alarms sounded throughout the complex. Our sensors show no unauthorized ships. Unknown, sir. They appear to have bypassed all our security protocols. The rescue mission freed over 300 political prisoners from 50 different species. More importantly, it sent a message across the galaxy. The Council was not all-powerful and resistance was possible. Back on Earth, General Choi Young-ho was preparing the largest fleet in human history. Ships from every nation on Earth had been combined into a single force, joined by vessels from the Hydros and Vectari, who had officially joined the Terran Alliance. "Sir, we have confirmation," reported Admiral Won Jae-hyun. "The Council is gathering their entire military at Arcturus Prime. Over 1,000 ships. How many do we have? 400 ships from Earth, 50 from Hydros, 30 from Vectar, and about 100 smaller vessels from other species that have joined us. We're still outnumbered 2-1. Yes, sir. But we have something they don't. Species working together as equals instead of rulers and subjects." The final battle of the war began at Arcturus Prime, the Council's most heavily fortified system. Supreme Commander Thex Valor had assembled the largest fleet in Council history, determined to crush the human rebellion once and for all. "This ends today," Thex Valor announced to his fleet commanders. "We will show the galaxy what happens to those who defy Council authority." But when the Council fleet arrived at Arcturus, they found something unexpected. The system wasn't just defended by human ships. Hydros water carriers had been converted into mobile weapons platforms. Vectari crystal ships could channel energy in ways that bypassed Council shields. Dozens of other species had contributed ships and crews to the defense. "Sir, we're detecting massive energy signatures throughout the system," reported the Council. "Sensor officer. The humans have allies from at least 20 different species. Impossible. Those species are under our protection. They wouldn't dare rebel." "The transmissions suggest otherwise, sir. They're calling themselves the Free Galaxy Alliance." The battle that followed was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. It wasn't just humans fighting aliens. It was a coalition of free species fighting against an empire built on forced submission. The Hydros used their ability to operate in liquid environments to hide inside gas giant atmospheres, striking at Council ships from within the planet's clouds. The Vectari synchronized their crystal formations to create energy weapons more powerful than anything the Council possessed. But the most shocking development was when former Council member species began switching sides during the battle. Ships that had been fighting for the Council suddenly turned their weapons on their former allies. "Sir, the Zalani Third Fleet has changed sides," reported a panicked Council officer. "They're firing on our forces. The Nexari 4th Squadron is also turning against us. The Corvin Defense Force has joined the Human Alliance." Supreme Commander Thex Valor watched in horror as his empire crumbled around him. Species that had served the Council for millennia were abandoning their posts to join the human cause. "Why are they betraying us?" he demanded. "We gave them protection. We gave them order." "Sir," his aide said quietly, "the humans gave them something we never did." "What?" "A choice." The tide of the battle turned when Admiral Choi's combined fleet broke through the Council's defensive line. Instead of trying to destroy every enemy ship, the Alliance forces targeted Council command vessels and communication centers. Without coordination, the massive Council fleet became a collection of individual ships fighting without purpose. "Sir, we're receiving surrender requests from multiple Council vessels," reported Captain Seo Ji-won. "They're asking for terms." Admiral Choi opened a channel to the entire battle zone. "This is Admiral Choi Young-ho of the Free Galaxy Alliance. To all Council ships, lay down your weapons and you will be treated with honor. Continue fighting and face the consequences." One by one, Council ships began powering down their weapons. The Great Council fleet, which had never been defeated in 10,000 years of expansion, was surrendering to a coalition led by humans who had only learned about space travel a few centuries ago. Supreme Commander Thex Valor was among the last to surrender. As his flagship powered down its weapons, he sent a final message to the Council homeworld. "The war is lost. The humans have destroyed everything we built. They have turned our own member species against us. The age of Council rule is over." In the aftermath of the battle, Representatives from hundreds of species gathered on the neutral world of Haven to discuss the future of the galaxy. The Council's authoritarian system was replaced by the Galactic Assembly, where every species had an equal vote regardless of their military power or technological advancement. President Kang Min-jun addressed the Assembly on behalf of humanity. "We didn't fight this war to replace the Council with human rule. We fought to give every species the right to choose their own destiny. The galaxy belongs to all of us, not just the strongest among us." The former Council members were offered full representation in the new government. Many accepted, grateful for the chance to participate in galactic affairs as equals rather than rulers. But not everyone was happy with the new order. In the Outer Rim territories, remnants of the Council fleet regrouped under commanders who refused to accept the new reality. They would continue to pose a threat to the fragile peace. However, the Free Galaxy Alliance had proven something that had never been proven before: that freedom was stronger than force, that cooperation was more powerful than domination, and that even the mightiest empire could fall when faced with beings who refused to surrender their liberty. The galaxy would never be the same. And it was all because humanity had taught the universe a simple but revolutionary idea: that no one has the right to rule over others without their consent. The war was over, but the real work of building a free galaxy was just beginning.